This is your WCIA3 forecast first.
There's a nice day, a quiet summer night here in central Illinois. No rain or storms to go around. As we look at our temperatures, we're down into the 70s here. Really, we don't drop much further down than where we are now. Upper 60s and low 70s with a mostly clear sky tonight. Those south and west winds keeping tropical moisture in place. As we move into the weekend here, this weekend's been great. Next weekend, not so much here. Scattered showers and storms return by next Saturday and Sunday. We get some also by Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to talk about all the chances for rain we have and more coming up as WCIA3 News at 10 starts right now.
Now from WCIA3 News.
The holiday weekend brought people out in droves. Could the large gatherings represent our independence from the pandemic? And concerns on the rise after an outburst of violence. Why community advocates fear for children caught in the crossfire, and where Illinois ranks in concerns over gun violence nationwide. Plus, giving back to kids in need. How one man turns one person's trash into someone else's treasure.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA3 News at 10.
They all understood that that was like a privilege to be able to come out there and to have this.
Event organizers say they couldn't be happier after a successful fireworks celebration and all the events that went on this year after they were canceled last year. Good evening. I'm Mark Maxwell. We spent a lot of time being socially distant over the last year or so, and crowds gathering broke those habits to celebrate the 4th of July all across central Illinois. WCIA3's Bryce Beeman live in our newsroom tonight talking to some of those organizers. Bryce, they said it was a pretty big success.
I spoke with an organizer at the Champaign County Freedom Celebration, and she said she was surprised by the amount of people who turned up.
I think it was really great. I think everybody really enjoyed it, especially this year.
Last year at this time, people were stuck at home or in small groups to celebrate the 4th of July. But now, crowds of people gathered to watch parades, fireworks, and more throughout central Illinois.
By the time the fireworks actually took place, it was packed. So there were so many people there.
Over the weekend, holiday events were going on in Sibley, Charleston, Champaign, Effingham, and more. People started lining up around U of I well before the fireworks show Sunday evening. It was the first holiday since Illinois moved into Phase 5, and people were excited to be able to go out and enjoy a sense of normalcy.
To be able to go out and hang out with friends and see families, see people around and see a crowd and just enjoy themselves. I think it was really a wonderful event.
But as a new variant continues to spread throughout the states, health officials are nervous non-vaccinated people may be spreading the virus to their loved ones.
It's likely that they'll bring it back to their own communities, to their own friends, and neighborhoods and small towns where the vaccine rate is very low. And that could lead to small isolated outbreaks or clusters of cases. And that can then spread.
Champaign-Urbana Public Health District says the vaccine is working to slow down the spread of the virus. They hope no uptick in cases comes from this holiday weekend.
They all understood that that was like a privilege to be able to come out there and to have this.
Champaign County Freedom Celebration normally has a band, vendors, and more. Because of COVID, they only put on a firework display, but they're staying hopeful for next year.
We'd really like to put on a great event next year, the whole shebang, the fireworks, the parade, the band, the vendors, all that kind of stuff.
I called several restaurants and bars in Champaign-Urbana. Some places told me crowds of people were great for business this weekend. In the newsroom, I'm Bryce Beeman, WCIA3, your local news leader.
We're looking forward to the whole shebang next year. Bryce, thanks. Coming into this holiday weekend, the state's COVID-19 numbers were the best we've seen since the start of the pandemic. The number of patients hospitalized with the coronavirus has dropped by half in the last month. That, another good sign the vaccines are working. The rate of daily deaths also trending downward by about the same rate. There are just over 100 cases of the Delta variant reported in Illinois so far. Nearly 56% of people over age 12 in Illinois are fully vaccinated. Nearly 99% of people who are dying with COVID-19 did not have the vaccine. After the big holiday weekend, volunteers with the Champaign Park District are making a push to clean up the parks. Today was the first ever Clean Parks Day, a scavenger hunt around some of the most used parks in the area to help pick up a lot of that trash. Groups and families could fill up a grocery bag with litter from each park, and they got to check in to earn points along the way. Remington Rock is one of the volunteer coordinators, says it's a fun way to get people outside and help the environment.
it's a cause that a lot of people care about to get out. It's an easy and fun way to give back to the community and keep everything looking good.
At the end of that scavenger hunt, they had an ice cream truck there as a bit of a reward. Rock says they hope to do more fun events like those in the future. The holiday weekend was a violent one in central Illinois. A teenager was shot and killed in Champaign Friday, and 4 others were shot, including a pregnant woman. On Saturday, 1 man was shot in the White Oaks Mall in Springfield. Police say he's expected to survive. 4 people were shot in Danville outside the Shovelhead Saloon Sunday. Another man was shot multiple times in a drive-by in Urbana on Sunday. And Sunday night, 5 people were shot in another drive-by in Rantoul. In total, 1 person killed and 17 people shot in 72 hours. Community advocates organizing against the violence see a troubling trend. More children in danger in these shootings. At least 3 of the people shot in central Illinois this weekend were minors. Maurice Hayes is the executive director of the HV Neighborhood Transformation. His group kicked off the 40 Days of Peace initiative, and we're not even halfway through that period yet.
We are losing kids every day. We are, and if that don't pull at your heart, then you got to be the hardest person in the world. I have a lot of kids around here that I call my kids, and every day they losing one of their friends. Every day I got to talk to them and console them or meet them at a hospital after someone just got shot.
Hayes says we've got to replace guns with outlets for kids and educate about the danger. He adds this needs to be across entire cities and towns, focus more effort on underserved communities. A new study measured the state of safety in America and found 83% of Illinois residents are highly concerned about gun violence. That ranks highest nationwide, well above the national average of 53%. The same research from SafeWise ranks Illinois second in the U.S., with the most people concerned for their safety on a daily basis. We trail only New York in that metric. Data from the FBI shows Illinois leads the country with the highest number of firearm background checks so far in 2021. National gun sales surged to a record high last year during the summer months. And still to come tonight.
And I'll probably never stop doing it.
How one man's generosity is helping kids learn something they'll never forget. And what's keeping this fire burning nearly a week after it broke out? Why Governor Pritzker declared an emergency disaster proclamation there. Jacob Dickey with a look at our weather.
Yeah, things have been nice today, and will be overall nice tomorrow. Been a little warm, but it's summertime. Looking forward, though, Mark, we've got a couple of systems coming. One midweek, which will bring the chance for some scattered showers and storms. Then heavy rain and storms, maybe even the chance for some stronger storms come by the weekend. We'll break it all down for you and let you know about it coming up after this.
Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
A nice and quiet summer night here across Central Illinois. A bit humid out there still. Here's a look in Danville. We got no thunder, no lightning. Really not even seeing any fireworks out there like we did last night. Maybe folks will get a little more sleep tonight. Temperature at 72. We've got south and southwest winds continuing. They'll be light, 2 to 7 miles an hour tonight. Those dew points, though, upper 60s and lower 70s. That sets the floor. Temperatures can't go lower than the dew point. That means temperatures are down into the upper 60s and low 70s, right where the dew point is under a mostly clear sky. I'll have us down to 69 in Mahomet, 71 in Georgetown tonight. We'll be at 71 in Lerna, Pawnee down to 69. Tomorrow, then, temperatures will warm. We'll be back into the upper 80s for highs during the day. Some of us do slip into the low 90s as far as the temperature goes. Look for a partly cloudy to mostly sunny sky throughout the day, and winds continuing out of the south and west. Heat index values, though, all of us are getting low to middle 90s. This is what it feels like, and look how quick that happens. By 10 a.m., feeling like 90 out there. Most spots will stay dry on our Tuesday here in Central Illinois. It'll be a warm, mostly sunny day. 88 in Champaign, 88 in Decatur. We'll be at 90 in Springfield and in Jacksonville. Taylorville gets up to 88. Now, as we look at the muggy meter here, that warm tropical air mass is stuck in place here. But look at this, a brief respite of it as we go into Thursday, but it comes right back on in here as an active pattern starts to pick on up into the region. The first chance for an isolated shower, and I mean an isolated shower, does come during the afternoon and evening hours tomorrow. One or two may pop up. Here we go by 6 o'clock. Look, there's one green spot. We may get another couple of there into the evening hours, and then by Tuesday night, we start to see a few more isolated showers build into the region here. Notice Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. This is 6 a.m. Wednesday. Some light, spotty showers into the region. No concern from them at all, but just worth noting here as far as the rain chances. Then Wednesday afternoon, we get scattered showers and even a few thunderstorms into the region. That is ahead of a cold front coming our way. That cold front arrives Wednesday night. We'll continue to bring rain chances Wednesday night, and at least through Thursday afternoon here in Central Illinois. By Thursday afternoon and Thursday night, that front then pushes to the south. The rain comes to an end. Friday looks dry during much of the day. Most of the daytime, even into the evening hours, looking dry and quiet in Central Illinois. By Friday night, though, the next system approaches. We think those storm chances pick up late Friday evening, Friday night, and then into the weekend here. That's this area of low pressure sliding our way. As it does so, rounds of showers and thunderstorms with even the chance for some heavier rain can be expected Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, even into Monday in Central Illinois. We'll time it more specifically moving forth, but we think the trend overall is for some heavy rain. This is round number one. Very light rainfall amount, spotty in nature. But look what happens if you go Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. We could see widespread 1 to 2 inches with locally higher amounts in Central Illinois. We're looking at the trend right now, not the specific number, but seems like a fair lock that at least we'll see some heavy rain on the way. Quick check in the tropics. Here's Tropical Storm Elsa moving off to the north now out of Cuba. That'll bring it into the Big Bend in Florida, the western Florida peninsula, as we go tomorrow and into tomorrow night as a tropical storm. Then it carries it off to the eastern seaboard here. No concern for impacts here locally from that, but you'll probably hear about that on the national news in the coming days. Tonight, down to 69, mostly clear night here in Central Illinois. We will see rain chances every day at some point. An isolated one Tuesday. You'll be lucky if you get a rain chance then, but by Wednesday and Thursday, some of those scattered showers and storms along that cold front. Friday, dry during the day, storms are late, and then things get really soggy, we'll call it. Saturday, Sunday, perhaps lingering into Monday with that next system coming on in here. Seems unfortunate. I think a lot of folks would like to have another dry weekend like we had.
Yeah, but you know what those rainstorms bring?
Oh, I don't know.
They help the sunflowers.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm used to the April showers bring May flowers. I'm like, well, this is July.
Is there a saying for, I don't know what the saying for rain in July would be.
You got me there.
We'll come up with one in our after-hours webcast, perhaps. But
you have to join us back Sunday night for that, right?
There you go. Yeah, set your calendars.
There it is. Next Sunday night.
Jacob, thanks. Speaking of those sunflowers, if you're looking for a bright spot to your day, well, the plants at Champaign's Clearview Farms, they got some new friends. A new shipment of bees. Not quite my idea of friends, but they came in this month during National Pollinator Week. Employees say the crops wouldn't grow right without bringing these bees in. They also need them to get Clearview's big sunflower maze ready to go. The flowers should start to bloom in about 2 weeks. A lot of people looking forward to that. We want to see your pictures and videos of bright spots happening in your life. Of course, you can email those to us or send them to us on our Facebook page, and we look forward to seeing that. Still to come, what's keeping emergency responders working on a fire burning for days?
There's not much that will extinguish that battery.
An industrial fire in the suburbs sparking a disaster proclamation from the governor. Those details coming up.
Live from your local news leader, Jessica Coons. Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Whitey and Brett Behrens on sports. You're watching WCIA 3 News at 10.
One man is going out of his way to give a new set of wheels to kids who may not be able to afford one. A bicycle, that is. Alfred Buck Hildreth started collecting new and used bikes for kids 3 years ago. Besides buying them new, he will often go to junkyards or garage sales to collect old, broken bikes and fix them up to give them out to people in need. He said growing up, he couldn't afford a new bike, so that's how he got his. And he wants to make sure he can keep giving kids bikes who may be in a similar situation that he found himself in when he was younger.
I feel good about doing this, and we enjoy doing it, and I'll probably never stop doing it.
He also donates coats, hats, and winter clothes to schools and churches to pass out to kids during the colder months. In other news tonight, Governor J.B. Pritzker has issued a disaster proclamation in Grundy County, that's southwest of Chicago. It comes in the wake of that massive industrial fire you may have seen from Morris last week, not far from Joliet. Tuesday's fire in Morris prompting the evacuation of nearly 5,000 residents. The facility there contained hundreds of thousands of pounds of lithium batteries.
We were able to apply 28 tons of dry Portland cement to the top of the burning batteries. These batteries go into thermal mode where they start to decompose, and once it reaches that stage, there's not much that will extinguish that battery. That battery will run through that stage until it consumes the whole battery.
That fire sending plumes of smoke and toxic fumes up into the air. The governor's proclamation allows Illinois to expedite the use of resources and personnel to help the county there respond to that disaster. Search and rescue crews have recovered another victim from the rubble of that collapsed condo building in Surfside, Florida. The death toll now stands at 28, with 117 people still unaccounted for. Officials authorized the demolition of what was left of that building earlier. Residents nearby took shelter and shut their windows to avoid all the dust. A ruptured gas pipeline caught on fire in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. No one was injured in the leak, but look at this bizarre video. Mexico's state-owned oil company says it took 5 hours to bring that fire in the middle of the ocean under control. Environmental groups said the incident is more proof that, quote, offshore drilling is dirty and dangerous. It's not immediately clear what impact the leak might have on the environment. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg is lighting up the internet with a video he posted yesterday on the 4th of July. Take a look.
West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River.
You can imagine the comments. It was widely panned on the internet, people ranging from cringeworthy or calling it, quote, the worst thing that has ever existed. Memes started to pop up quickly on social media. Some people had Zuckerberg on board the Titanic, but most of them had him getting eaten from that shark in Jaws. And he said Zuckerberg was just looking for a little bit of publicity or maybe a like. They're calling it the bathroom with a view that's out of this world. You can't beat the view from the toilet that sits on top of the SpaceX Dragon capsule. Look closely. There it is. It's inside the capsule's 360-degree glass dome. That dome on top called a cupola, offering a stunning view of Earth and outer space. SpaceX founder Elon Musk tweeted about it, said it's pretty much the most in space you could possibly feel. SpaceX set to launch its first civilian mission in September. Brett Barnes here. I don't know about you. I prefer a toilet with gravity. I don't know how it works.
I got a lot of questions about that.
Yeah, we have a follow-up.
We'll have to figure that out another time.
What's going on in sports?
All right, coming up after the break. The Olympic countdown is on. We are just a couple of weeks away here from several Central Illinois athletes making the trip to Tokyo. We catch up with Lauren Doyle, the Meridian and EIU grad. Joins us next. Athletes both from Central Illinois and those with local ties are set to compete in Tokyo, including a two-time Olympian. Former Meridian multi-sport standout Lauren Doyle will represent Team USA in women's rugby. I caught up with the Eastern Illinois grad recently who was thankful to make the squad once again after the games were postponed last year and what will likely be her last time competing on the world's biggest stage.
Leading up to selections and whatnot, of course, it's a stressful time, but our staff is very transparent with us, and we had a few practice games against Brazil. They were here, and then after that, we named our squad. So, yeah, it's been a whirlwind, you know, with all the protocols, but it's going well, and we're excited to leave.
When you tell people you're from Macon County, and then specifically, I'm from a really small town outside of that in Booty, what do people say when you tell them that?
Well, I used to be like, oh, I'm from Decatur. But now I've just been like, yeah, no, I'm not from Decatur. I'm from Booty. And usually just a blank stare. Like, that can't be what you just said. Like, wait, how do you spell it? That's what I usually get. Like, with a T? No. With a D, so yeah.
And I know you're going to have a whole following of people in your hometown and in all of Central Illinois, Eastern Illinois community. What do you want them to know about you representing them and yourself, you know, on that Olympic stage?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I represent small town Illinois, and, you know, just to all the younger generation, the little girls that watch it, just know that it doesn't matter how small your town is, where you came from. Opportunities come and you have to grab them. So and I truly appreciate all the support, the messages, everything that I received from the community is really great, and it's definitely felt.
Thanks to Lauren for her time. Look for her competing with Team USA July 29th through the 31st. 12 teams are in the field. USA trying to improve upon its 5th place showing in 2016. That's the highest in team history. Australia, the defending champs. And to watch my full 10-minute interview with Lauren, head to our website, WCIA.com. Another Olympic connection to Central Illinois, Rajiv Ram. He won his doubles match with Joe Salisbury at Wimbledon today, advancing to tomorrow's quarterfinals. Ram won silver in Rio, playing mixed doubles with Serena Williams. The former Illini won the NCAA doubles title in 2003, helping Illinois to the team championship as well. Ram and Doyle join 9 other, that is, athletes heading to Tokyo with WCIA3 connections, including former Illini volleyball players Jordan Poulter and Michelle Barch-Hackley. They will play for Team USA. Aaron Virtue is an assistant coach. More Illini on the list include alternate Alex Diab in gymnastics, Thomas Peters, Thomas Dietrich in golf, and David Kinziera on the track, while former Uni High swimmer Emma Reich, she competes at Cal. She will represent Croatia in the pool. And just last night, Rantoul native Blake Schilb qualified with the Czech Republic men's basketball team, the 37-year-old finally getting his shot to win a medal. All right, to baseball, where the Cardinals continue their 10-game road trip leading up to the All-Star break. St. Louis visiting first-place San Francisco, and it was a pitcher's duel through 6. Then in the 7th, Matt Carpenter makes some contact, goes for a triple in that huge center field there at Oracle Park. That scores 2. Then in the 8th, Nolan Arenado singles to right, bringing home another. Giants score 3 times in the final 2 innings to make it interesting, but the Cardinals win at 5-3 the final. Cubs and Phillies still going at Wrigley. Chicago took a 2-1 lead in the 3rd, but Philadelphia has blown it open, scoring 9 straight runs before the Cubs finally get on the board there, looking to avoid their 10th straight loss. White Sox have a 6-game lead in the AL Central. Chicago visiting Minnesota for the first of 3. White Sox down 3-0 in the 6th when Jose Abreu absolutely blasts this ball. Triple deck and then some. 411 feet on the towering shot. His 15th of the year. The Sox managed to cut the lead to 1 in the 8th, but Max Kepler leaves the yard off Ryan Burr. Twins score in the 8th and win at 8-5 in the final. Mark.
Tough loss, Brett. All right, thanks. Jacob Dickey has a final check of our weather next.
day.
There's your 7-day forecast. Will be dry tomorrow, mostly. I can't rule out a stray shower somewhere. Some chances come, though, for the cold front Wednesday, Thursday. It seems like the weekend trending soggy and stormy out there. Friday is dry, but by Friday night into Saturday, Sunday, I really think some outdoor plans are probably going to be messed up.
Hope you had a great 4th weekend. Brett, the rest of the A-team will be back here tomorrow. Have a good night.